That okay. Well, welcome to the Monday update call, and having an opportunity. It's Russ Field calling in from Vancouver. Having an opportunity to talk to JC and our coders. It looks like the API for Lightspeed is almost done. One of the things we were in the process of trying to figure out, which we think we have now, was to make sure that our free, our basic, and our premier members wouldn't necessarily have to log into a site twice. Our goal is to interact with their code so that when you log into Crypto Cash Nation, based on the fee that you're paying, whether it's free, basic, or premier, that you have an opportunity to be able to just basically click on the educational system, and then based on the rules of what that is, you'll be able to, of course, hook right into Lightspeed to be able to see all of your courses. And it's really, really important that once we hook this up, we're going to send an email out to you to say that it's done. Go ahead, log in. Each and every one of you, you really need to be a product of the product. So you really need to get in there, and you need to, and I don't care if you use toilet time. I don't care if you use, you just pick the kids up and they're at soccer practice, using soccer practice time or whatever it is, but take this, 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, whatever it takes to go in there and start to learn and to build up your repertoire of what it is to be able to build cryptos in this industry. Because, man, I've been on Facebook the last couple of days, and I saw some stuff that just absolutely, from good people too, just promoting some stuff out there that just, I could understand last year when everyone started out in this industry and, how kind of botched and botulism it got. But, man, to see really good people promoting some stuff out there right now because of their ignorance, it just makes me sick. And the only way we're going to combat that is for enough good people to really start to learn and understand and sponge up what this is. And that includes all of us admins too. Every single one of us needs to go through the course. We all need to take the tests and to be able to do that. So I'll be adding the admins first, and then from there we'll be adding the rest of the people. So we're really excited about launching that this week. I do have a conference call tomorrow with Mike in the morning, who is with Rapid Funnel. We had an opportunity to have his CEO, Patrick Shaw, on Saturday. And, Patrick's words were basically, I love what you guys are doing. You guys are amazing. And, you're going to be around for a long time comparatively to what other things I've seen in the marketplace. And that's coming from a guy who's built, has been a 7-digit income earner in this space for a very, very long time and owns what I believe to be the premier funnel system. So we're very, very excited and proud about what we've been able to put together, not just as an administrative team, but with every single person who's taken our calls and been honest with us and said what they liked and what they didn't like, and we've certainly delivered. And he was, one of the things for him he was so impressed with is he goes, man, you guys are just in, you're in pre-launch getting all this stuff together, because I've never seen a company do this. It's just insane. So with that, that's our updates for this week. We are live with respect to our, from a payments point of view, we're live on Bitcoin still, and we are live on our $15 and $49 course. So with that, it's time to go and grow. And our Spanish is up and ready too, and we're just finalizing how we're going to make our video Spanish as well. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about time, our most powerful commodity. I don't have many slides tonight because I have been deep into pretty much like a university course on editing, movie editing, and it's just learning so much. But it's taking up a lot of my time, but it's really, really exciting because we've got about an hour of content to add to our courses, which is going to come, I'm hoping, later on this week. So time is a priority, how to schedule your biz into a schedule. Time's your most valuable. Time is your most valuable resource, and how to leverage it. So, in the first few weeks, we talked about the importance of building a business system. It's in your back office. We discussed the benefits and advantages of building your business fast versus slow, as well as details of how to properly go about the most important tool, which is the three-way call. So if you need to know those things, just go back in your community tool chest, and they're all there. They're all videos there for you to watch, and it's pretty simple to be able to do that. That's why we put that together. The reason why we chose those first, they directly relate to the importance of having the necessary systems, launch mindset, and tools to enable you to leverage the most important commodity anybody has, and that is time. Because if you lose time, it's gone. If you lose money, you can make money again. So, and this is a great James Allen quote: "Man is made or unmade by himself. By the right choice, he ascends as a behind of power, as a man of power, intelligence, and love, and the Lord of his own thoughts. He holds the key to every situation." So I started off with this quote today to really dig deeply into the choice that each of us has to live the way we want to live each day. There are so many different ways we can become distracted by our choices that I wanted to really get each of you to go back and think of the reason why you got started and launched into your crypto building business in the first place. I think that each of us believes that we live in a pretty interesting time economically, and a result of us to be able to choose to be able to switch some capital each week and exchange your paper money into cryptocurrency, it's really, really interesting what we have the ability to do. Now, I personally believe that each of us made the choice to launch our CCN business and spread the knowledge to others through simple systems through our GST Silver in 7 days. That's right into your steps to success in your back office. Okay, so that's, where is that? Here we go, Silver in 7 days, steps to success in your back office. So take the time and make it a priority to check out the site, log in the next few hours, and acquaint yourself with one of the best back office training systems that there is. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what choices are regarding your time. Like when leaders are doing what they do and they're putting in a position to create high professional incomes in just a few short weeks or so, was it tough? Maybe, perhaps, was it worth it for them to make a decision and a personal choice to burn the candle at both ends? Because that's usually what they do, is they get a little bit out of balance for 30, 60, 90 days. And they leverage the systems developed in technology, which we have a plethora of here, from the funnel system to the, the light speed system that we have to the, to the oncoming, demo accounts and the contests, for being able to build large crypto portfolios. I think all of that was well worth it. So the question is why did we get launched into a business in the first place? And really the goal is to find the time, because time is always a big excuse. And the thing is, if you do an exercise and you figure out where your time is per week, per day, per month, and you figure out how to compartmentalize that and to leverage that time to be able to build a business, that's where your opportunity exists. And once you do that, you can utilize that exercise to teach other people. So I've taught this to many people on my teams over the last 18, 19 years. So if you're super busy, you know what, we all are. If you have kids, I already know you're a taxi service. My gosh, I was a taxi all weekend. It's incredible where we had to go to get our kids a bunch of different volleyball stuff that we thought it was over, but it wasn't. So what everybody needs to do is just get a full piece of paper and a pen. And once you get your paper and pen out, what you want to do is you want to draw a table with 7 days across the top: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then draw the times of the day, from 8 in the morning all the way to 10. Now on the screen here, you can only see them. I'm only going about 12 hours here. But you should put in about 16 hours, because most people are up about 16 hours a day. And then what you want to do is you want to create a table. And what you need to do is you need to put in your 8 to 12 hours of work, block that off. So in here I put work. For you, you work there. So what you want to do is just put a red X or an X in these spots here. Like you see my mouse going, just exit out, and just fill in everything in this table. And then what you want to do is you want to put in the time that you work out, put that in there. What are your lunch and supper times? I've got lunch and dinner in here. And what you're going to find is once you get done this, is you're going to find that no matter how busy you are, everybody has 5 to even up to 25 hours a week, usually between 8 a.m. in the morning and 10 p.m. at night, that they're doing something that doesn't move them forward towards their personal or family financial goals. And that's where the choice comes in. It really does. The choice is, if I was playing volleyball with a bunch of people in a rec league, and it wasn't creating financial freedom, yet I was complaining to my friends that I didn't have enough money after that to go out and buy a beer. Well, you know what? That means that I'm not using my time wisely. That means that at that point, maybe, that wonderful time, that rec time that I was doing that skill in, and it could be anything. It could be playing video games, spending time on Facebook, which a lot of people waste a lot of time on social media, so on and so forth, and taking that time and then comparing that with the daily income producing activities. And one of the things that we've leveraged through the funnel system when it comes out on Saturday is the fact that the daily income producing activities are really, contained within that technology, and it makes your time exceedingly efficient. So what you really want to get good at is really just kind of talking to people, giving your phone and saying, hey, I'm going to send you some information, and go from there when the funnel system comes out, and just keep adding to that, all the time, or even grabbing some leads, buying some leads from someone. There's lots of lead sources out there. But when you buy the lead, just don't put them into the funnel system. Call them first and say, hey, are you still looking? Yeah, I'm still looking. Okay, great. Well, I got something you're going to love. And then boom, you send them information on CCN through the funnel system. And let the funnel system do all the hard work for you, all the lifting and all the sorting and all the filtering. And then at the end of the day, based on the point system, that's a logarithm, a logarithm, say that 10 times in there, that'll help you out. So that's great. So I've looked at so many of these, and wow, it's amazing to see how much time we personally have each week. It's the most precious commodity we have. So it's amazing to see how much time we have per week. Yet anybody you talk to always says they don't have any time. And that's because they've never really scheduled out the week to see what the heck is going on. Because once you use up your time, it's gone forever. So if you've made a choice to create a better life for yourself, as you understand what path you're on, you're not going to get the life you desire unless you're working towards doing those specific things. So if you put the table together and you see where time is actually going, it's a huge eye-opening for everybody who chooses to do it. So, really spend the time with your new people and do this as an exercise with them. You could do this exercise plus the making the first circle work exercise, where you're putting in all those great qualities of a person that you want to have come and do business with you, the type of people you want to attract. And then you figured out that, wow, you're not even that person. So there's some things you need to work on and stuff like that. Don't worry, we're all working on those things. But it's one of those check your mirror, check yourself in the mirror things, right? So time is very, very important, but unless you know your time is spent, how are you going to be in a position to spend any time in any sort of endeavor which is going to be good? So see if you have goals that you want to reach and find out that you're behind. Maybe you're lacking motivation, finding excuses of why you can't do something versus making a choice, making the time to do something great. That is the time that you need to really look in the mirror and start to figure out, what sort of fibs or lies that you're telling to yourself to justify why you're not personally growing. And every single person does this, is that when you're not growing or something's not going right, what we tend to do is we tend to blame everything externally to us, instead of looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, if this is going to be, it is up to me. Because the best way you can put yourself in a position to make something grow is to get off the rusty dusty, to go into that steps to success, right? And to go to the GST in 7 days, learn how to make a proper names list, write those names down, identify the top 50 people, and take the next 72 hours to absolutely crush out on those 50 top people. And you're going to find that you're probably going to go gold or platinum on the first 50 people in 3 days. I did. And if I did it, why can't you? So that's basically, what it comes down to. So a lot of people say, well, I don't have time. Time is finite. At the end of the day, we all have 24 hours in a day. So why are others who work the same hours as us, why are they getting their dreams that we are not? So do the exercise of the timetable, and you'll see that most important commodity, you'll see where your most important commodity is going. Then you can decide to make the choice to change it. So for others is, I don't have the energy. In the economic climate we're in, inflation and taxes continue to rise each month. Your money only purchases about 97 or 98% of what it did 100 years ago. So what this tells us is that we need to find a solution to save the value in our money. And of course we have it with CCN, because we're going to learn how to build a crypto portfolio, and we're going to build crypto every day instantly, which is cool because it's inflation. It's not an inflationary fiat, which means it's going to protect the asset that you're making, that to be able to hold it in that value, and hopefully create additional value as more capital comes to the market, which is really exciting. So if you do not have the energy, what I would suggest you guys do, and I do this all the time, and guys, I suffer from a whole bunch of different sort of medical things that I'm not going to get into. So, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, you really need to get into your music. And it sounds kind of hokey pokey and a little bit kooky dooky, but I'm telling you, if you're low energy for any reason, plug in a song from your youth that you used to rage to, you know, like just a song that you like, you'd be somewhere in a car or something. Maybe it's a, you know, who knows? It's just, you know, we all have those songs in our life. You know, for me, I love EDM music. I like the dance kind of music, right? That they play at the clubs, you know, with those intense rhythms and stuff. And for me, I listen to that. When I get down, what I do is I got them in my cell phone, and I just press on a YouTube video I saved to my cell phone, and then boom, as I'm listening to this for a minute. And what I do is actually do this before conference calls. So anytime I talk to someone, especially people who are like, you know, that we're, you know, we might do a JV deal with or whatever it is, what I do is I before I do that, I automatically raise my energy level by making sure that I'm up at a level to be able to do business. So I'm raising my energy level up with music all the time. You know, also, if you're working a full-time job, don't come home and sit down in your lazy boy chair. if I sit down in my lazy boy chair, I'm out. I'm done. It's like I'm snoring in like 3 minutes. I used to always make fun of my dad coming home as a teacher, and he'd sit down the lazy boy, and you know, he's about 45 to 48, and like instantly he'd be snoring, just sawing Husqvarna, you know, ring, ring, Husqvarna, sawing logs. And I'd be like, man, I'm never going to do that. Boy, when I turn 45, I sit down in that bloody chair, I am done. So if you run a business or you're working like crazy, but you still need to do something, I'm telling you, don't sit down when you get home from work. What you need to do is you need to look at the app that we're going to have on Saturday, and you need to do a couple things in that app to make your business grow first, and then sit down and have your snooze. But make sure you do those things first before you put yourself in a position, you know, to do that. Because at the end of the day, the hidden tax of inflation, it ain't stopping. It's not going to stop. It's always going to go up. That's why we're working harder today than we were 5 years ago, or 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. That's why, you know, in certain parts of the country, in Canada, I'm sure in the U.S. or wherever you are in the world, you know, you're thinking about your kids, you know, owning a house one day, and it's never going to happen, just because of the cost of living is so expensive comparatively to what people, you know, what people earn. So that's why we're doing what we're doing in the crypto sphere, so that we can still, you know, give our kids the same things that our parents gave us. Because right now that's out of reach for about 99% of the population. And we want to make that difference, and we have the ability to make that difference in people's lives. So I'll finish with some thoughts from my favorite book here. And this is my favorite book, one of my favorite books. And it's A Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's a fabulous book. Everybody needs to read this book sooner than later. You know, make decisions, make a choice, you know, make this a study, because this book really makes champions out of ordinary people. Because you start to realize actually how little time you need to alter every day into your, you know, into your new vision or into your new strategy for life. And because you're compounding that day after day after day after day, it could be just reading an extra 5 to 10 minutes a night before you go to bed. The person that you'll be 90 days later is significantly different than the person who you were 90 days before. And it's just that 10 minutes a day. And I can attest to this. You know, I was talking to some you know, fathers about volleyball, and we were all athletes in high school and university. And I said, you know, the only reason when I went onto a basketball court that I knew I was probably going to be the best person of my age group there. And I'm not saying it to be cocky. I'm saying it because I knew, because I went to the gym every day and I said, I'm going to shoot more shots, lift more weights, and run more miles than anybody I know in my whole sphere of influence in the basketball community. And that's why from grade 7 and 8, I went from being the guy who sat on the bench that never played to being the guy that everybody wanted on their team, because I outworked everybody. It was just, that's all it was. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't athleticism. It wasn't anything else. It was pure heart, willpower, and desire, and changing my environment to make everything around me basketball, so that ultimately I could get a scholarship and have fun and do all the stuff, that we were able to do. So, and all of that comes down to those little decisions that you make every day. And that's so important when you read that in this book. So if you haven't read this book, I'm telling you, go get it. You're going to absolutely love it. So remember, the choices you make each day lead to behavior, which lead to your habits, which ultimately create your destiny. So if you want to really make a business work, treat the most important commodity you have with the respect that it deserves, and make a choice to find out exactly what time you put towards it, and make it a priority, and do it before each night. Remember the small things you do consistently each day, something as simple as texting out 5 people or 2 people, whatever it is, making that list and just continually contacting those people with the leverage funnel that we have. It's not that hard to do, but the compound effect is always working. You can choose to make it work for you by simply making a choice and allocating an hour or a few hours or several hours each week to the growth of your business, not your boss's business. He's happy, having you work for him and driving his Mercedes, but doing it for you so that you have a greater amount of time and choice through the capital that you have to do things with those people that you love each week. So it doesn't necessarily take a lot of time, but it takes a consistent, focused effort of time as you prioritize your life to really fit into what you want. Doing what you do now gets you more. If you do what you do now, it's going to get you the same. But if you change what you do now a little bit, you can get a lot more than what you have now. So change your routine up a bit, allows you to create a future for you and your family of your dreams. The systems are in place. The teams are here to support you. All you need for your future and your dreams is to give some priority of your time to them each week. It's really simple if you really know what you want out of life. And that's, of course, why your why really needs to almost make you cry. So that is the teaching part for today. There we go.